good credit score is instrumental in everything from getting a low rate on a mortgage to renting an apartment or even securing that dream job. But the problem is that it's almost entirely based on your relationship with debt. How much did you borrow? How frequently did you pay it back on time? And it creates this cycle of borrowing money to build your credit score so that you can borrow more money at a lower interest rate, and it just never ends. Until now. By enabling the optional autopay feature, the current build card helps you build your credit while eliminating the risk of debt and interest because you're building credit using your money instead of the bank's money. So let me show you how this works and how this free product could legitimately save you over $100,000 in a real world example. So we've talked about the current build card briefly in a few previous videos, but Current reached out to me to see if I'd be interested in doing a deeper dive on this product, and seeing that I've personally been a Current user for several years, it seemed like a perfect fit. So just know that Current is sponsoring today's video, meaning they do get to see it before it goes live, but if you're watching this, then that means that they were okay with any praise or criticism I have about this product. So if at any point in the video you do want to sign up and help support this free content, you can check out the first link down in the description. But let's start with what makes the build card different from other credit building methods. With most traditional credit cards, you swipe your card to buy something for say $100, and then at the end of the month when your statement arrives, you have to pay the bank back that $100, and if you don't, then interest will start to accrue on top of any late fees that may apply, which is where credit cards can become a slippery slope if not handled responsibly. Now that leads many people to turn to what's known as a secured credit card, where you deposit say $500 for example, and the credit card company then gives you a secured credit card where you can spend up to $500, and that deposit you made essentially serves as collateral, so if you don't pay back the amount that you spend, then the credit card company just keeps your $500 deposits and your credit score takes a nosedive. And don't get me wrong, I love traditional credit card products if used responsibly, and if you've seen any of my videos over on the Daily Drop channel, then you probably already know that. Where things get dicey is when they're not handled responsibly, because there are few guardrails in place allowing you to spend more than you can actually afford to pay back. Well, enter the current build card, which is going to be tied directly to your current spend accounts, a key difference with this product. So let's say you have $2,000 in your spend accounts and you go and spend $500 on your current build card. Well, that $500 is immediately moved from your $2,000 spend account into reserved funds. And as long as you have the optional autopay feature enabled, which I highly recommend, that $500 that has already been set aside is used to pay off the $500 balance on your card, which Current then reports as an on-time payment to all three major credit bureaus, which is the most important factor in calculating your credit score. No accrual of debt, no interest, no late fees, just a simple, effective way to safely build your credit history. Oh, and did I mention there's no credit check when you sign up? So if you're trying to rebuild damaged credit, or if you currently have no credit history at all, then the build card is especially perfect for you. Plus, it even works when withdrawing cash at over 40,000 fee-free ATMs, and you'll earn points on eligible dining and grocery store purchases that you can then redeem for cash back through the Current app. Okay, so this all sounds a little too good to be true. So what's the catch? Well, honestly, there really isn't one, but there are a few potential pitfalls that I want to make you aware of. First of all, I know I sound like a broken record, but I highly recommend you enable that optional autopay feature if you want to get the full benefit out of this product and build your credits in the most passive way possible, because otherwise you will have to go into the app and manually pay off the balance, which if you forget to do that, you may fall behind and there will be a late fee of 3%, which is still better than a traditional credit card, I suppose, but the goal here is to build your credit, so just use autopay and you'll be fine. There's also a 3% foreign transaction fee, so if you're traveling internationally, you'll probably want to bring another card with you, and also note that there is an out-of-network ATM fee of $2.50, but with 40,000 in-network ATMs to choose from, hopefully you can avoid that one. Otherwise, you're looking at no monthly fees or spending requirements of any kind, making this a very beginner-friendly product. Okay, cool, but why does all of this matter anyway? I mean, we all know the importance of building a good credit score, but what does this actually look like on paper? Well, there's lots of different benefits of good credit, but let's say say right now your score isn't that great, maybe in the high 500s or low 600s. And as a result, when you go to borrow money on something like a mortgage, for example, right now you'd be looking at an interest rate around 7.8%, meaning on a conventional 30-year mortgage, you're looking at $572,000 in interest over the life of that loan on a $400,000 purchase with a 10% down payment. Now, you could navigate your way through the minefield of traditional debt products, dodging high interest and late fees, but let's say you use the build card instead on your everyday purchases. You enable that optional auto pay feature to avoid accruing any debts, interest, or late fees, and are hypothetically able to build your credit score into the mid 700s over time. Well, now with that same exact loan, you might be looking at an interest rate closer to 6% right now, dropping your total interest payments over the life of that same mortgage to $417,000 over the life of that loan, thus saving you $155,000 just by using the build card to safely build your credit history. Now, obviously that is an ideal example, but the numbers don't lie, and a slightly improved credit score can legitimately save you crazy money, especially on something like a mortgage, and the benefits of good credit obviously go far beyond that. So is the current build card a good fit for you? Well, if you already have established credits, or you're really responsible with your existing credit cards and always pay them off on time, then you're probably not going to get the full benefit out of the build card. But if you feel like you're stuck in that credit card cycle and you're tired of high interest and late fees, then the build card could be the perfect solution, especially if you're looking to improve your credit history or build your credit score from scratch. Plus, the fact that it seamlessly integrates with the already incredible current platform, which you can learn more about in this video, makes this a fantastic choice for someone looking for an all-in-one financial solution without having to jump between multiple platforms. But let me know what you think of this unique product down in the comments section. And again, if you do want to learn more, sign up, and help support this free content, then that'll be the first link down in the description. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.